Hello, everyone. It's time for an April update for our 2025 adventures in astrology. And I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so again, I want to thank the Wholeness Network for the opportunity to work with their community from an astrological standpoint. And March, wow, March, right? And I'm kind of glad there's not a lot that's happening in a way in April because I feel like we're still probably going to be marinating in a lot of what has been taking place as we are wrapping up the eclipse season 2 weeks before the first eclipse and then 2 weeks after, like the really big time energetic parts of the portal is my understanding. So we still have a couple weeks into April. So give yourself the time and the space to figure out what is happening for you. And we are going to talk about the planets, some planets going direct, and then we'll look at the moon series so we can show that as well. So Mercury went retrograde March 15th and will go direct April 7th at 26 degrees Pisces. So that's about a 23-day retrograde period. And during those times, it's great to think on that email one more time or to really take your time at crafting that text, being careful with travel plans, making sure that you have checked all your boxes. So this is a great time to kind of work on your communication skills. So as we move forward in the rest of April, because Mercury goes retrograde about depending 4 times a year on when the retrogradation happens. It's just a great time to just get clear on what we want to say, what we want to do, that reminder to take our time. And then we also have Venus. She went retrograde March 1st. And one thing I don't think I mentioned in my March podcast is that we had a Venus star point. And when Venus is in her inferior part of her journey, when she's going retrograde, she touches the sun. And when you're within 17 minutes of the sun, it's considered Cazimi, it's in the heart of. And so you kind of picture it like the sun's this, big, muscular dude on this golden throne. And, the planets come and they sit on his lap and they whisper in his ear. Now, I don't really see how Saturn sitting on the sun's lap would work like that, but it's going to work with Venus. So we're going to picture Venus sitting on the sun's lap and whispering secrets into his ear. And there's this magnification of love and beauty and value that we have for about a 24-hour period. And Venus star points happen every couple of years or so, depending on the cycles. And there's this amazing book by Ariel Gutman on the Venus star points. I'm going to try to get this off my desk with everything falling. Yeah, things fell. It's okay. That's life, right? So here is this book. It's really, really good if you want to explore more about the Venus star point by Ariel Gutman. Okay, nothing seems to be majorly broken here, so we're okay. Let's keep going. So when Venus goes retrograde, a great time to reflect on our love, how we meet people's needs, how we get our needs met, friendships, our values. Money is something that Venus is connected with as well. And so this will be ending for us April 12th. And so, in Venus is interesting because, Mercury doesn't really love being in Pisces because, he would prefer to be in Virgo where he has rulership of his sign. And, Venus doesn't really love being in Aries. So I did this warrior AI generated image of Venus for us. But I think it's a great chance for us to think about the things that are difficult and how we can step forward with them, making the best of things, because I'm an eternal optimist, right? So that's that. And then we have the full moon in Libra, and that will be happening on April 12th at 8:21 p.m. I set it for my location in Stowe. So when you look at this chart, it's not really, don't worry about the houses because it's really more how the planets are interacting their aspects. So we'll have the sun at 23 degrees Aries with the moon opposite the sun here. And interestingly enough, Chiron is like super close, right? 23 degrees and just 19 minutes away from the sun. And when we have, Chiron, we talk about Chiron being the wounded healer. The story is that when he was, first born, he didn't look so hot. His mom rejected him, took him to a cave, had somebody else raise him, and turned herself into a tree. But Chiron became this amazing Renaissance, where he like learned astrology and medicine and just all these things, so brilliant, and worked on that wound, that immortal. He was hurt in his immortal part of his body. So it's kind of like, okay, so how do I deal with chronic pain? How do I deal with this thing that's really hard for me to heal? And I feel like anybody who's human has some sort of understanding of a Chiron wound. But it's about, with Chiron in Aries, is about our identity. It's about how do we assert ourselves. And so with the sun, right, with the Chiron next to the sun, this full moon might be revealing something about that for you. And we also have the planet Mars in a square aspect to the sun. So the sun is squaring Mars here. So there could be some feistiness, some fieriness in the sky, asserting yourself, maybe goal oriented. Those are things that Mars is really known for. And so there's this, when we have three planets, opposing and squaring each other, this kind of dynamic, it can feel a little tense perhaps. So just be mindful of what you're saying, how you say it. It's a great time to look at things you might want to heal, and hopefully maybe the eclipse season might have brought something to your attention. And if not, that's fine too. It may just not be affecting your chart in a super personal way. And then coming up April 27th, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, we have the new moon in Taurus at 7 degrees. And so really, when you're looking at these charts, 7 degrees, we have the fixed signs that are important. So, if you have 7 degrees fixed, and you could do plus minus 2 degrees or so. So if you have anything at five degrees, Taurus 46 minutes, up to like 9 degrees, Taurus 46 minutes, that's the window that would be potentially affecting things. And we also have Mars again. They're kind of moving within interesting speed of each other. So we again have Mars squaring the sun. And we also have Pluto involved in this. So this is another 3 out of 4, because we have, with the modes, we only have 3 different modes. And we have the opposition between Mars and Pluto, which happened earlier in 2024. And typically when Mars and Pluto are opposite each other, it can be something explosive or volcanic potentially. So when I was preparing this talk, I was thinking about the song Peter Gabriel's Digging in the Dirt. That's kind of the way this new moon feels to me. So perhaps being there, moving towards some sort of brave healing, things that were kind of afraid to dig into, but it's like the time, I feel like, to dig into these things, and also being patient with the collective, because there's a lot of things shifting and going on. I mean, in the United States, holy cow, since mid-January, it's been quite the ride. So recognizing if there's a lot of resistance to things as they are, maybe finding ways that we can bring joy into our lives to keep our vibration high. And that is actually, it's a short presentation this time, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I just want to show you, I'm taping this at the last week of March. My birthday's in the last week of March. And my friend, who is absolutely amazing, gave me these beautiful, I don't know if you can see it, the blurring effect, bummer. But there's this cute little cloud with raindrops and this cute little sun and this cute little rainbow. And she can write a little note on and put it in your book. It's called a book buddy. And it just like touched my heart. It just made me so happy. And she wrote, for when you have something to say or remember, with a smiley face. And so I feel like during this time, there's a lot of things happening, and giving yourself the grace and picking up things that you love, that bring you joy, that make you smile, are ever more important. And we'll see you back for May. So I feel like April's the time that we're going to be unpacking a lot of things, integrating things, and then opportunities might be present to really go after something. And we have this spiral that things are brought to us. And so maybe there's something you thought, wow, I thought I was over that, but it's brought back into your reality, and saying, okay, what's the next level that I can take this to, where I can have more understanding? Because ultimately I feel like the goal is between, am I making my choices out of fear? Am I making my choices out of love? So Sending love to all of you, and I will see you soon. I'm going on a fun trip, so my next one I might have some color in my face, perhaps. I won't be quite so pale, having been in the Ohio winter for many, many months. So sending love to everyone and hope you have a fabulous month, and I will see you soon. Take care.